20. I'm Rick Bloom, and I will try to act as moderator, but you guys are the show, so please say as much or little as you want and provide as much insight as possible. I think what we should do to start is kind of go left to right, or my left to right, and if you would just introduce yourself and the school you're from and kind of get everybody acquainted. So.
Brittany Zelli, Kirtland.
William Stovall. I'm currently helping out at Brush.
Damaris Winters, Brush High School.
Ted Wagner, Madison High School.
Mike Harper, Lakewood High School.
Brittany McNamara, Berea Mid-Park High School.
Dave Murphy, Central Catholic.
Mel Burke, Senior, East Tech High School.
Tim McMahon, Laurel School.
Lisa Stott, Cornerstone. Vanetta Kreider Drive.
Fred Howery, Shaker Heights.
All right, well, once again, thank you all for coming. It's exciting to be on the verge of another season here, and we're wishing you all good luck in advance. So we'll get things going the way I thought we should, because this is one of the key pieces, is asking each of you for an overview of your team and your expectations and maybe a key player or two as you are approaching the 2019-20 season. Coach Zelli?
So this is my first year at Kirtland, as a lot of you know. I was at Andrews for 2 years. So the expectation I had at Andrews, it carries over to Kirtland. So we're looking to win the conference, but we're also looking to get at least 2 postseason wins. And I have 2 seniors who have been working their butts off the whole time since I've met them in May, and that's Lauren Snyder and Julia Camino. So we're fairly young, our numbers are a little low, but the girls, they're workhorses, they want to compete, they want to do well, so I'm really excited to see what they have in store this season.
Okay, sounds great. Coach Winters?
I'm very excited about the season here going forward, because last year I had maybe about 7 or 8 sophomore, 5 or 6 freshmen, and it just seemed like it was just like, it was a little tough. We came to play every night, but the IQ just wasn't there for what we were trying to do as far as myself and my staff is concerned. But now it's a little bit different. I always keep my stats, or even in the summertime, I keep our records. We lost maybe 1 game. We lost 1 game to Akron Hovind in overtime in Akron in the summertime. So other than that, we won every game. So we were about 16, 17 and 1. So nice. I'm looking forward to that spilling over into the season. My key players are starting 5. I think the starting 5 that I have is maybe the best starting 5 that I've ever had, even from Richmond Heights. And being here with the athleticism, with what we ask as a staff, with what they can do, and these kids being under our system for the last 2 years, I think we'll be pretty good.
Sounds like you've got a solid guard rotation. You've got several who can shoot the 3. You've got some height. You got the Twin Towers, right? So it sounds like you've got most of the major areas covered.
Yeah. Our point guard, Kayla White, is really good. Some would say that may be our best player. We have 2 big girls down low that can really do it. As long as they stay out of foul trouble, they're very physical. So sometimes they reach and they push or whatever it may be. They're very aggressive. So we try to calm them down. One of them can jump out of the gym. She can touch the rim, so it's not going to be a lot of rebounds that she'll miss, hopefully. And we do have 2 guards on the edges, and Jana Henderson, who's a slasher, and Delia Johnson, who's been under me for the last 4 years, who can really shoot it, good defender. So we have a very, very solid 5 that other teams will have to match up with.
Sounds great. Coach Wagner, how about in the land of the blue streaks in Madison?
Well, we have 7 of our top 10 players back, so we're a very young veteran team. We have 0 seniors, so I think this year's kind of going to be a stepping stone to the next couple of years, because everything we implement this year we'll be able to continue to build on next couple of years. I look forward. Last year we made a lot of improvement. I think this year, second year, doing a lot of similar things. I hope the girls can grow and continue to develop, understand what we want to do better. Our league is tough. I mean, I've told a couple of people I just would like to maybe steal a game or 2 that we're not supposed to win, because our league is that competitive.
Any leaders you want to point out? Any senior leadership coming
Well, no seniors. Junior Chloe Wakeham is going to be a 3-year starter, and
Okay.
she's been the heart and soul of the team. She's a fiery player, tough player. She has been the leader by example for the team. Other than that, it's just a lot of young kids coming in, and I hope to have a nice balanced rotation.
Okay. Coach Harper, Lakewood.
Yeah, so I have 5 seniors coming back, but you know, we're coming off of a 7-win season. So I have a bunch of kids who haven't really had much success. I think one of the keys for us will be is how hard will we play.
Okay.
You know, we're going to be a grinded out kind of team. I don't know if we really score easy buckets, so I think we'll have to do some things to try to get there. Asia McAuliffe is probably my returning star player. But she, you know, she was a little inconsistent as a junior. I'm hoping that she can steady that out as a senior. Probably the heart and soul of what we do, I guess, in our backcourt, Ava Claus. She'll be a third-year starter. However, in a summer league game with us this year, she broke her foot. And what we thought would be, because she played soccer in the fall, what we thought would be, well, she'll probably miss a few games in her soccer season. She ended up missing her whole soccer season and hasn't even really had a full practice with us yet. So it's been slow healing. I think getting her back will be a key. We have 3 post players that are all seniors. Morgan Harper probably leads the way with that. She's my second kid. And I think if out of the 3 of them, if we can kind of get some solid play in that rotation, especially on the defensive end, I think that's where they need to really step up. I think we'll be okay. I mean, we play in the Southwest Conference. I wouldn't by any means call it the toughest conference, but you know, we all know each other well, and there's not an easy night out there.
Okay.
So I'm looking for us to compete. I think if a couple of the younger, we got a couple younger girls, a sophomore and a freshman coming in that we're really excited about. I think if they can produce some things and give us some things, I think we could be competitive.
Sounds good. I'm going to backtrack just a bit. Coach,
Yes.
would you like to introduce yourself and your school?
Eugene White, head coach at Lutheran East High School.
Okay. So what we're doing in round 1 is just kind of taking a look at the upcoming season. If you can give us your perspective on how you think things are going to go, maybe highlight some key players and some of the things you're looking forward to.
This was my first year at Lutheran East. I think that we're going to be foremost that we're going to be really young. We have 3 freshmen on varsity, 2 sophomores, 2 juniors, and 4 seniors. In the past, they had 4. They were one game in the Regals last year with only 7 girls. 3 of those girls are gone, so they basically we only have 4 girls left in the whole program.
Okay.
Through a great freshman class and some kids coming in, we're able to fill the JV and also a varsity team, so we're pretty proud about that. We have Tyra Eppinger. She's probably by far our best player. She has about 900 some points, about 15 points away from 1,000. And then we also have another senior named Elia Henderson. She's at about 800 some points, so she's teetering right there. I just think that this year we're going to be a team that gets up and down the floor. You know, like I said, we're young, trying to learn the game.
Right.
And so I think every day is exciting, so it brings on a new challenge.
So hoping to put a few wins together this year, but also looking toward the future as well, right, as you build the program.
I think we have some talented young kids. They're not, even though they're young, they're very talented.
Okay.
With the highlight of a 6'2", we got a 6'2" junior who actually transferred in this year from over Richmond. So that's going to be a big help for us. And some other good young talented kids. So I think that we, you know, a couple wins, but I do think we can win a lot more than a couple.
All right. Coach McNamara, how are things going out in Berea Mid Park?
Well, it's my first year, so
Okay.
I'm just learning how to do things. But we just kind of want to carry on the tradition that Coach Broughton left us with. We want to play high energy. We're going to be younger. We have 4 seniors. But where we're going to really compete is one of our freshmen, Lauren E. She's just really blown us away with how she plays in the summer and things like that. She's one of my star players that's really going to help us to a couple of wins this year. Along with Jenna Bazinski, she's our 6'4" post, who really likes to just get down and do the little things for us on the inside. And then Sydney Lanto, who's a senior this year. She's kind of our spearhead of the group. Okay. She really knows what she wants. She wants to go out on top. We just want to compete this year. We're in the Southwest Conference along with Lakewood, and we're ready to make our mark. So,
All right, sounds great.
Yeah.
Coach Murphy.
Yeah, we've got 3 starters coming back from 12 wins last year. It's my 3rd year there, and some of the younger kids are starting to buy in what we're trying to sell.
Okay.
So we are kind of pushing for, trying to get after it defensively and compete in practice. That's always the challenge every day, is make sure you're competing at the highest level.
Sure.
Probably the 2, Chantel Barnett, our point guard, senior point guard, is coming back, and another girl, Felicia Jackson,
Okay.
post player. And then we got a freshman that came in that'll be a starter, Hazel, that's just a quick young player. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Okay, great. Coach Burke Sr., how are you doing at East Tech this year?
We're pretty good. We're slightly above average. 5 seniors that are getting their time to finally get to play. The positive is that we're kind of 10 or 11 deep, because those seniors, along with a pretty good sophomore, Jada Ward, who was all Senate, all district, and honorable mention all state as a freshman. Got a lot of athletes. We got a couple girls that did well in volleyball, and a couple girls that were high jump and long jump champs in the city track. So we have athletes, but to be quite honest, we're kind of experienced with play. So we just try to teach fundamentals every day. Being a team that's 10 deep, we're going to go, like I said, play hard, play smart, and play tough.
All right. Coach McMahon, you always have the Gators ready to roll, right?
Yeah, we got a lot of kids back. We got 11 kids that made the varsity team. So we've got our seniors, Juliana Marinozzi and Anna Soder, and then our juniors, Taylor Theory, Haley Theory, Caroline DeSico, and Aubrey Scrimsher. No sophomores on the team, but then we had 5 kids make the varsity, 5 freshmen make the varsity team. And that is Kendall Broughton, Tess Conroy, Margaret Jones, Autumn Taylor, and Mari Beckley.
Okay.
So we have got a lot of kids that can play, and they're all fighting for minutes at practice right now and in the scrimmages. So we don't know how we don't know where it's going to land and how fluid it's going to be, but it's been intense and it's been fun. The kids are really kind of going after it, and they're excited.
Looking to make a run, usually make a pretty good run in the playoffs when that time comes around.
Yeah, who knows? It could be our turn if everything, you got to get lucky and it's all got to go your way, but maybe it's our turn. I don't know. It depends on how hard we're willing to work and how lucky we're able to get, but we've definitely got enough pieces and parts to go after it. So we're really excited. We're just trying to make sure that the kids are focusing on just working every day right now.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
And Coach Stopp, you're no stranger to postseason runs, so how are things looking at Cornerstone this year?
It better be good, right? We were 24-5 last year, and we only graduated 1 senior. We graduated 2, but the other senior played JV for us, just came out to help us with their numbers. But we got another tough schedule, and I've got, let's see, 3 kids that average 12 points a game, so I'm kind of like with Brush, my starting 5 is my stars. But we could go a little deeper this year. But I got 3 kids back that average 12 points a game. One of the Clunins, Madison Clunin, stopped my daughter, and Tina, and she's looking particularly strong. Kaylee Tina has strengthened up. We've been lifting a lot. And so I think it's going to be hard to match up with us for at least D4 teams. With the schedule we play, I can't be saying that when we play teams like Laurel. But we want to major in the minors this year. When we got down to state last year, I thought we set the stage pretty well, and I thought we competed pretty well. We played Mount Notre Dame, the #1 team in the state Division I. We lost to Minster. Our losses were to studs, Hovind. But when we got down to that state game, we got our butts kicked, and we got out executed. We got out coached, every sense of the word. We played with fear. It was not the team I have coached, but it was. And so we talk about doing the little details, because the girls don't want to get out executed ever again. So we're doing things that I haven't done with this program for 3 or 4 years. We spent most of the practice today reading screens. And a loss like that it's got a sting that just won't go away. I was just telling Tim, my daughter and I, Riley and I sat down for the first time a week ago and watched it, and Riley could stomach a half of it because she's, I get it, because she was out of the court. I made it to about 3.5 quarters just to watch a lot of missed layups and all that. So
Right.
anyway, I'm hoping that takes us, gets us back down there, lets us do great things. A lot of things have to go right. You got to stay healthy.
Right.
I'm super excited. I mean, I've been coaching 30 years, and by far, this is the team. And we've had good teams at Lake. We were in the state 4 times, but this is a team I think that could do something special. But all that means nothing. It matters, those minutes you play that game. So I'm hoping that we can get to the state finals. But there's so many teams before that
Right.
you can't even look past. So super excited, but.
Long way to go, right?
Long way to go, but we're independent, so it's like, that is our end game, like,
Okay.
we don't talk about winning the conference. So I may seem like I'm putting the cart ahead, ahead of the horse, but we talk about that, that's why we set our schedule that way.
Sure.
But certainly, there's no guarantees, and when you have a big bullseye in your back, I mean, we're gonna have everybody's A game, so we'll see how we handle it,
All right.
yeah.
Coach Kreider over at John Hay, your first time around. You've been assistant there, right? But
Yes.
this is your first time as the head coach. So what are you looking at for this season, and who's looking really good for you?
As of right now, it's a lot of excitement. The girls are excited. And being the assistant coach for the last 2 years, I was able to slowly put in my own footprints. Start putting in my philosophy a little bit. And they bought into it. So it's excitement, but I have to teach them and keep preaching patience is right. They want it to be right now. We are a young team. We have 1 senior returning and 1 starter from last year returning. I'll be featuring my junior point guard / shooting guard / power forward, Maya Maxey. We have a good sophomore tandem, Amari Hart and Shadiman Henderson. So we lost a lot of pieces last year, but this year we're a more balanced offense. They're buying into the philosophy of dogs only. And with them being a young team, once again, I have to keep preaching patience. Patience, patience. It's not going to happen overnight. We lost a lot of pieces last year, and they have to just buy into the program, the philosophy.
Okay.
That's it.
And Coach Howery, who was at John Hay, is now at Shaker Heights. So what are things? How are things shaping up in the land of the Raiders?
It's been a huge culture change that has had to take place over the last 4 or 5 months. The work ethic had to improve. There's been, we butted heads, the team and I butted heads a couple of times already, just in the fact of, showing up to practice on time.
Mm-hmm.
Getting things, those little things right there that we're working on right now. As far as basketball-wise, I mean, we're not there yet. They went 2-22 last year. They play in the GCC, which the GCC was Solon and all them in that conference. It's not like it's going to be an easy road to walk through there. Our biggest thing we've been preaching now is let's compete. Let's be competitive in every game we can be competitive in. And we're celebrating the little things, making a layup, breaking the press and making a layup here or there. So we're trying to make some celebrations and getting the girls just excited about playing the game. And then there's girls that have came out that haven't played. I got 2 seniors that didn't play last year, Adeze Okoye, who, I mean, she's a flat out, she can run, she can jump, she don't dribble very well, but she's going to be a big key to our defense. We want to be a high pressure defense, put a lot of pressure on the ball, and see if we can outrun some people in that manner then. We did get a transfer in from Westlake, Aya Woody, but we might have just lost her about 6 to 8 weeks with a torn meniscus possibly. We'll find out Thursday about that then. Taja Jackson, 5'11" point guard for us. Another one that we're trying to work on just to get her committed to where she can be. Does she have the ability to play at the next level? She sure does. It's now, I got to be late to practice, or I got to do this, I got to do that. The excuses that we got to try to get rid of. Okay. But the girls are giving me, they're putting the effort in now. Tonight was a hard practice. We ran them hard, so we'll see how it goes from there.
Now, you had mentioned the team was 2-22 last year, so I'm curious, is it difficult to get the girls to turn the page and say, just forget about last year, brand new season? Do they think about it at all?
I don't think they've really looked at it from that standpoint because we went into a shootout at John Carroll a week or so ago, and we ended up beating Fremont Ross. And NDCL put a thumping on us, which was our first game, but then we came back, we beat Fremont Ross, and then we lost to a team out of Pennsylvania by 1. So I think the girls saw some of the benefits of what we're working on. I don't think they've been in situations where, our type of press that we're going to do, our type of offense, I don't think they've had the opportunity to really work with success. And then playing in the GCC, when you got to play Solon twice, Medina twice, they need those little successes. So we've lightened up the non-conference schedule a little bit. Not that it's going to be easy, but we just lightened up a little bit, so hopefully we have some of those small successes early on.
All right, so sort of for round 2, we went my left to right the first time, but I'm going to go this way this time.
Okay.
And if you could highlight a game or two that you consider a marquee game. Now, obviously, all games are important for their various reasons, but do you have something circled on the calendar that you think would be,
Well, currently, next Saturday, the 23rd. I mean, we've circled that one against Bedford. It's a game that's winnable, and so we've really circled that one to get us started, to get us going. Then January 20th on MLK Day, we're playing down at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. At the after the Cavs-Knicks play at 5 o'clock, we play at 8 o'clock. So we've circled that one just more to get the community involved with the program. We're doing, we've already looked into traveling next Christmas then. So that's, it's more of getting the community involved so that we want to do this because the boys are already very, very good over there. Right. So the girls need to get that same fire, and that's what we're working on, getting that fire in the community for the girls basketball team.
Okay. Coach Kreider, how about you?
We start off with some heavy hitters. Our first game was against St. Vincent St. Mary. Then we go to East Lake North. Then we go to Cleveland Heights. We got it. So our part, but like I said, I have a young team, so patience is going to be key. Of keeping their head up and pushing. Like I said, I have a lot of 6-foot, got probably 3 6-foot players right now. Freshmen that can just learn how to bang. So that would be a good opportunity to play against Hannah from Cleveland Heights, and I think you got Cherry and a couple of them from St. Vincent St. Mary, Leo from East Lake. Oh yeah. We also have Lutheran East later on down the schedule. Once again, it's all about patience for these young kids this year.
You don't believe in dipping your toe in the water; you're diving head first.
We trying to make a move for the state playoffs. So hard schedule now, it get easier as time goes on.
All right, Coach Stop.
Yeah, can I just back up from where we were? I just want to bring up Serena Johnson came to Cornerstone, and she's a freshman, Sonny Johnson's daughter, and I'm really excited about her. But I wanted to make sure I share that.
Absolutely.
She's coming off an injury, and she's going to be quite a player and help us as a freshman. But anyway, games. I mean, the one that's most important is probably our opener against Western Reserve because it's the only D4 team on our schedule, and if our end games getting through tournaments, that's got to be our #1 focus to take care of business there. But of course, we have Laurel, and we had such a great game last year, and we had a great summer game. So I always look forward to that. Our kids know each other. They got a set of twins. We got a set of twins, and they're just tight. Right. But Berlin Highland is week 2. There's not too many coaches here that would schedule Berlin Highland week 2. I don't know why, but because they're a machine and they're always postseason ready, preseason. Yeah. So am I looking forward to? I mean, we'll see. I mean, that's again, the little details will make a difference. Sure. And then I think what's kind of probably exciting for both of us, Tim will probably bring it up, but we go and play the Battle of the Border. The 2 PA teams, it's Bishop.
Bishop Cannon and Villa Maria Prep.
Villa Maria Prep, and that's kind of neat. So it's going to be a 2-day tournament, and he's taken us as one of the stronger teams and one of the top 2 teams who he thinks in this area. And I think that's kind of neat to represent Ohio that way. Right. And then lastly, we're going to Florida, and I'm looking forward to that for 3 days. So yeah, we're going to have an invitational tournament, the Junior Orange Bowl, and that's the first time this program's ever done something like that. I've never done it in all the coaching I've been in. It's supposed to be a good one, so we'll see. Coach Winters, can we pull the show in Florida next year? Is that possible? Yeah. It took a lot of camping. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's going to be the day after Christmas. All right. So that will be just fun just because it's Miami, Florida. So, yeah. And Coach?
Yeah, we're excited to travel with Cornerstone, and we want to go out to PA. We're playing 2 really good teams out there that go after state titles, and we get to sit with them, we'll root for them, and they'll be sitting there rooting for us. So, and that's early on too. So that'll just be fun.
A little too early.
A little too early, right? We got invited a lot of places this year. We are extremely blessed. We have Cornerstone in that night game at Sonny Johnson's tournament. We're going to PA for the 2. We got invited to play Pick Central at their place in a night game for a girls and boys showcase. So, you know, good luck with that. And then 2 days later, we're going to Canton Glen Oak to play Gahanna Lincoln. So in 72 hours, it's bam, bam. They set us up with Cincinnati Mount Notre Dame.
Oh,
you know,
sorry.
We play them at 7 p.m. to kind of kick off the Classic in the Country. And you know, if you don't want to win that one,
right,
don't show up on the first day.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, they're all. We scheduled. We picked up Hoover and Hoban. We're not going 22-0, so but that's kind of what we were hoping. So if Pick Central and Mount Notre Dame get into us a little bit, good. You know, we can find out where we're soft. It's better to find out now.
Sure.
But obviously the game with Cornerstone's the Super Bowl, so that's the one.
It's a good one.
That's the one. Come to that one. But no, we have a great schedule, and we're excited to travel, and we're excited to push ourselves. We think our strength of schedule is tops in the state, so we're excited.
All right, sounds good. Coach Burke.
Well, besides being ganged up on by Brush, Lutheran East, Central Catholic, and Coach Kreider, we have a couple outside tournaments. We have a team from Pittsburgh coming to play us at the Mortgage Fieldhouse also.
Okay.
Before the Cavs play Minnesota. We have, like I said, a couple out-of-town teams trying to strengthen our schedule as far as our league play. Overall, trying to be competitive because not being disrespectful. Besides Coach Kreider and myself playing John Hay 2 or 3 times, the Senate is not real strong, so we got to strengthen this outside schedule by traveling here and there. Just looking to compete. My 2 seniors, Ariane Brown and Ayana Hicks, the track and field athletes, are good rebounder, putback players that can run the floor. So even though we got a couple of post players that we're going to go against, those 5'10" players got to show up and show out. So we're just trying to strengthen our outside schedule to compete in the long run.
All right. Coach Murphy, what's looking good for you down the road?
The 3 of the teams that are here, Lutheran East, Brush, and East Tech, you know, those are always competitive as hell.
Mm-hmm.
So there's really not one game that's on our schedule that we really circle. Last year we were able to win the division in the smaller division. There's only 4 schools in it. You know, I guess that would be a goal to win again, but I don't see that as being such a high goal. One school dropped out in another conference. Yeah, I think it's pretty competitive overall. We're in the Andrews Osmond tournament. This past weekend we had a nice scrimmage, spent the night down in Cincinnati, played Cincinnati, Turpin, and Anderson, a little tri-way. It was a good experience for the girls, got out, spent the night in the hotel, had a little cookout at a guy's house, and you know, things that girls, these girls, most of them don't get a chance to do. But there were 2 very competitive teams that we went against, and so that was good competition. So we're just looking forward to the whole season in general, really, not just one game.
Coach?
We're really just looking forward to our first game. It's versus Dalton. Getting ready, having our eyes set on one game at a time, but can't not look forward to a rivalry. We play Olmsted Falls December 7th, so that's a big rivalry down Bagley Road. They're both on the same street, so it's big for the girls, big for us, but that first game is what we got to get through.
Okay, sounds good. Coach Harper?
Yeah, so we elected not to play the first weekend, so we actually opened up the 27th with Westlake, who I think is probably, out of the SWC, probably the favorite to win it. So I think we'll find out right out the bat, you know, where we stand. But like I said, I mean, I think, you know, for a team, you know, learning how to win is a process when you haven't been successful. So it'll be interesting to see how we come out and compete, maybe set the tone for the season. But I'm excited to go to Westlake to open the season. And then I think it'll be interesting to see, what Berea Mid-Park. Amherst has a couple of nice pieces over there. I think North Ridgeville will be much improved, and if they're going to transfer in, it's going to be nice for them. So, looking at teams like that throughout our conference.
Okay. Coach Wagner.
Well, I'm 53 years old, and I've never coached a varsity game, so that first game next Friday is going to have a lot of emotion, so I just want to get through that one. Other than that, I'm not going to give any team in our league any bulletin board material because they're all really good, so every WRC game is going to be tough.
Coach Winters, you're up.
I have a lot of games I'm looking forward to, starting with the East Tech game a week from Friday here at Brush. So Burke and I always talk back and forth, and he called me like 6 o'clock this morning, like 3 times, about some stuff. But yeah, that's a guy that I pretty much look up to, along with Coach Stovall. So it's always special to go against the male. So that's a kickoff. His girls are looking forward to it. My girls are looking forward to it. Before I say a couple other teams, I want to backtrack as Coach Stott did. I do have a couple. I said my starting 5 is my best player, right? But I have 2 players coming off the bench that probably can start anywhere, mostly anywhere else. I have Zanaya Thomas, who's about 6 feet, with probably about 6'4" wingspan. She's really good, been in our system for a while. And I was lucky enough to have someone move into our district who was a freshman at Bedford last season, averaged about 16 points a game at Bedford. Taylor Johnson Matthews, who plays for us now. Unfortunately, she tore her ACL in practice a couple weeks ago. So I don't know. She'll be back. She has 2 more years for us. She'll be back, and she'll be ready to go. So with her, we would have been really, really good. I think we're going to be good now with her. She fits with our team. She gets along with everyone. She's just like she's been here. So, but other games that we're looking forward to, of course, Cornerstone always. I always get outcoached by Coach Stott. So
Not true.
She ran this out of bounds play on me last year at Brush that just killed me. I'm still trying to look at it, get it together. I still wouldn't be able to stop it now, and I see it coming. So we have that. We're at Sonny Johnson's Classic. We'll play Akron Buckle. We'll play Columbus Northland in Columbus. The girls are excited about getting out of town a little bit. Always East Lake North twice, who's probably the toughest team in our league out of many tough teams. We're always looking for, it's a rival to us, maybe not to them, but because they've won the last 2 and we won the one before them, we look at it as, I mean, Destiny and Abby, they're just dynamic guards. We think we can match up with them pretty well this year, so we'll see. Also, what else we have? One more I was thinking. Oh, Mayfield, of course. Brush and Mayfield is a big rivalry, so that's a big game for us.
Okay. Coach Zelli, how about over at Kirtland?
So I am new to the CVC. We're in the Valley Division. So I'm really excited for every game because I don't know these teams. So our independent schedule, I know them a little bit more. So we start off with Chardon and Perry, which are historically pretty strong teams. And then in the middle of the season, we have Independence, who I know Kirtland lost to twice last year, and then we end our last game against NDCL. So I don't know how competitive the CVC Valley is going to be, but I know we're starting tough. We have, a couple tough games in the middle that I personally know are going to be challenging for us, and then we end with NDCL. So it's not as challenging as I would like it to be, and I'm learning from Coach Stopp. I've listened to a lot of her interviews, and having played against her for 2 years, I know that we really need to pack that schedule with tough teams if we want to go far in tournaments, which is ultimately our goal. So hopefully next year as we go on and I build these relationships with other teams that are bigger or at the skill level we are, then our schedule's going to beef up and we'll be a team to reckon with.
Sounds good. Coach, what about you?
And the backtrack is a little. We're excited, really excited at Brush because we do. I'm sorry. I still think I got a child. My child plays at Brush, but we're really excited over at Lutheran East because we really do have. We have a freshman that's going to be special. Aliana Robinson.
Okay.
She's going to lead us as a freshman. We have, like I said, we're going to start 3 seniors and a post. That's a junior. That's 6'2", Tamia Fair. So we're really excited about the things that we can do. Now, when you go back to games that we're excited about, honestly, I don't think I sleep well before any game. So that's just being reality. And then last Saturday, I think I got a call that made me really sad. I probably won't sleep for the next 3 days before the game starts. And that's when we go against Laurel. So we, out the gate, we get an opportunity to go against one of the best teams in the area, probably in the state. So we get to find out where we are fast. This next game we look for is, it's always great to go back home. So I'm excited about going back home at Central Catholic, you know, and seeing some of the teachers that I might have had when I was there, playing inside of the gym where you're a Hall of Famer at. That's just all. It's just a lot of excitement there. Playing against this upcoming year, we got East Tech on our schedule, and just like Coach, we're independent. We're used to being LEL, so now we're independent. Playing against John Hay, going down to St. V, going to Akron Hovind, Archbishop Hovind this year. We're going out of town a couple times down to Northland to play down there. So we're really excited about every game that we play, but just to highlight some of those, but every time we step on the floor, we're really looking forward just to get better and to compete with whoever we play against.
Okay, sounds good. Coach, we have a little more time to go one more. So the first couple of questions I posed were pretty much the same for everybody, just with different answers. I thought it would be fun to mix it up a little bit and give you each a different question, but relating to basketball, relating to programs. So I thought we would go through that, and again, we'll kind of reverse our order, Coach. And so my question to you is, what is your philosophy of coaching as it relates to the academic side too? Because obviously this isn't professional, so you guys have to keep other things in mind. So coaching related to education.
Over at Lutheran East, we've been very, very blessed that three out of our 5 starters are 4.5s or better students. So we have 2 young ladies who don't come to school. They come to school, they leave school at 10 o'clock, and they go to try to see the rest of the day. So when you say GPA boosters, we got them right there. So one of the things that we've implemented into our this year, and what we're going to continue to do in our program, is that we check grades twice. We check grades every other week. We have study tables, mandatory study tables. No, even the students with 4.5s are in study tables. So we believe that outside, this basketball is going to stop bouncing at some point. What are you going to get out of it? Our whole goal is for you to get a free education, but also in that time of getting a free education, build yourself for a future. So we preach that every day, all the time. So we really, truly believe that academics is first, especially at Lutheran East.
Okay. Coach Zelli, something that's come into the news a lot, I've been following a lot of articles lately, how things have changed over the decades with parents' involvement and how that dynamic has changed. Not only how they interact with coaches.
So, Brett, come on.
Okay, what's the weather going to be like next? No, so I wanted to ask you how you handle or propose to handle as a coach when the concerns come up about playing time, both with the players and with the parents, because I'm sure you can get a little bit of both, you know.
Yeah, and that's something that I've already had. This is only my 3rd year as a head coach, and I have had to deal with it. But my philosophy with parents is that I handle everything in-house. So if the girls are concerned about their playing time, absolutely talk to your parents about it. But what I would like the parents to do is guide them on how to approach me so that they can have that conversation. So, I mean, that's a life skill. I mean, if you think of it, I'm almost their boss in a way. So if you have an issue with your boss, how are you going to respectfully and appropriately approach a tough topic? But really, I don't talk to parents about playing time because it's my decision with that girl, that player. So I haven't had any issues so far. I think I'm lucky, and I have a lot of supportive parents thus far. So I'm hoping I don't have to run into that anytime soon, but that is my viewpoint on playing time with parents.
Okay. Coach Winters, kind of a 2-part question. What role do your assistants play in the program, and do you see yourself as a micromanager or more of a macro, kind of let them do some things, let them run things, or do you roll up your sleeves and get right in there? How do you approach that part of the game?
So we have basketball people on the staff, right? So I do a lot of coaches or programs have maybe an administration person. I'm really that person for us because all 3 of my assistants played before they all played in college. They were basketball people. They're downstairs right now. running drills with all of with the whole program, freshman, JV, varsity. So I get in as well too, as far as hands-on, but I'm kind of veering off of that because they're so good with it. They're so good with footwork and the right layups and fundamentals. So I pretty much concentrate on getting the schedule together. What we're going to do is, as far as practice is concerned, their job is the fundamentals and the drills. My job is to come up with the X's and O's, defensively, offensively, administrative duties, the game plan going towards the next team that we're going to play. So I'm blessed in that matter, and I don't mind doing the paperwork. That's not a problem for me, like the operations manager, sort of, so to speak. So that's what they're just good basketball people. Yeah.
And Coach, over at Madison, I know you said you're coming up on your first game ever, but I was wondering about promoting, you know, Madison basketball in the community, also maybe within the schools. I mean, do you have an opportunity to do that? Do others take that over? How do you build that program up?
That was a big concern of our superintendent, to try to get the numbers up. So we have, the parents have been very active. They want to help out with some fundraising. They want to help out with some ideas. They want to get the community together. We talked about, for example, a pancake breakfast, bringing the kids in, breakfast with Santa, then the kids can come to the game, inviting the middle school up, trying to get the middle school more involved. We've had some of our conditioning sessions. The middle school kids came up and did some conditioning with us, so, you know, in the preseason. So we've been trying to make it one family. You know, Madison has never really been a basketball community. It's been a football, wrestling community, which doesn't really affect girls basketball. But, you know, I think this is the first year we finally had some basketball players, not soccer players or softball players that were moonlighting on the basketball court. But these are girls that if they have to decide, basketball comes first. And I think that kind of helps build the program because people see this as an end goal, something worth going for.
Okay. Coach Harper over at Lakewood, just wanted to ask you about your behavioral and you know, the expectations for your players, both from a basketball standpoint, but you know, behavioral too, both on and off the court. What types of expectations or standards do you set for them?
Yeah, so every year we have a written up contract. I mean, there are a list of rules that talk a lot about off the court things. You know, whether it be how you conduct yourself in the classroom, the community. Social media is big, right, with all of us. And I don't think there's been a year in 8 seasons that I haven't had an issue with social media. But yeah, I mean, there are rules of conduct that we definitely take serious over there. You know, fortunately, I have a good group of kids who seem to get it, but inevitably, you know, I've had to have some disciplinary issues that have, you know, cost girls games. And we don't hesitate with that. I think kind of tying into the parent thing, I have a good set of parents over there that kind of understand that I think it's bigger than basketball, right? I mean, I think my charter is to help foster good human beings first and foremost, and then, you know, if we can produce some good basketball out of that, that's good. But it's about, you know, good people, because, you know, going on to college, heck, just getting into college, right? I mean, you know, especially with that social media thing and the things that you do off the court. I mean, I tell them those things stick with them forever. You know, people have lost opportunities, lost jobs because of stupid stuff you've done out there off the court. So, yeah, I mean, I take those things very serious. I really do. And I've got a good staff that really is always promoting that as well, too.
And Coach, with your program, do you consider yourself a role model for the players? And if so, can you give us some examples for how you want to portray yourselves, you know, for them?
So I really love to start out with, like, you know, empowering them and tell them that they can pretty much do anything they put their mind to. I'm 24 years old and I'm a head coach of a program. You don't really see many of those out there nowadays. So being that role model to them, saying like, hey, this is what I did with my life. You know, trying to, you know, show them that basketball isn't the end game, but it can help you get to where you want to be. You know, I try to, you know, be that role model for them, and I hope
hopefully I have shown that to them the first couple of months, but, you know, we got a whole season, so.
Absolutely. All right, and Coach, how would you assist and counsel some of your players as colleges at any level might show some interest? I mean, how would you step in there and sort of guide them?
I guess communication is number one. You know, if finding out, I put out a profile sheet on like say a senior that I know has possibility of playing college. Social media is great, and I think that's a great way to contact, but I also am old school, so I like putting something in an envelope and mailing it, because I know a lot of those college coaches give it to their assistants, say put this in, but come up with a profile sheet. We have their picture, their GPA, maybe their clearinghouse number, their stats, their AAU teams, and you can put that all in one sheet. Throw a cover letter in there and throw their schedule in there, and so when you send that out, let's say in June, and you know that certain colleges are interested in some of your players, you're all of a sudden giving them all that information right there in their hand.
Okay.
Yeah, you can send, and video, I mean, videos do follow, and tapes of games, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I think it's important. It gives kids opportunity to go get a free education. You know, I've learned at Central Catholic that you got to do more. You really got to push them a little bit more, because there's not a lot of parent involvement. So if a coach is involved, if a college coach is interested, you've got to almost jump through the hoops with that girl, almost to the very end, to be honest.
Okay.
But it's all worth it, because, you know, for them to continue playing basketball at another level and get an college education, whether it's partial or free or whatever, I mean, that's an ultimate goal.
You're affecting a future, basically, right?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I've coached for 39 years. I was a walk-out of Bowling Green for 4 years. And I know that they had 12 scholarship players and 3 of us walk-ons. And I had to take the van with the cheerleaders to all the away games, which really wasn't a bad idea. But I've learned there's some kids that want to play college basketball that are good enough that may just get partials.
Right.
You know, and I think learning, being a walk-on at the college level, I've kind of learned what it's like for high school kids to sit at the end of the bench. Those kids at the end of the bench are just as important as your starters. If you don't make them feel that way, then you can have some issues on the team. I'm kind of getting off track here, but you can have some issues on the team. But yeah, getting back to your question, yeah, I think the coach has to be all in and do everything they can to get the kid to play at the next level.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Coach, if you could give me an example of either other coaches or even a personality who maybe didn't coach, who have really made a mark in your life and really inspired you. Do you have anybody that you could tell us about?
Yes. First of all, I played for downhill at Max Hayes High School, like Coach did. I walked on at Youngstown State in the same row. Got in when I could, picked up full hustle plays and taking charge of loose ball dives. On the side of coaching in high school, as far as the East Tech area, William Stovall, when I was coaching boys, I never thought about coaching girls. When he asked me, I thought my attitude sometimes get out of hand. You guys probably don't know that. You know, you guys probably don't see that before. But I could be a bit of a, someone coach, when Stowe asked me to coach girls, I was like, no way, I do boys. But it was a different, vibe for me. So when Stovall got me into the girl side of coaching, it was a different change of environment and a change of communication. And last but not least, East Tech legend, Lemoyne Porter. He was in my life as growing up. Him and James Tribble. Coach Porter still is at East Tech, giving advice and coming through to helping me out. So I will put William Stovall in there as far as getting me started on the girls' side.
Very good, very good. Coach, here's one for you. If you could give us a word or a phrase that you want your current players or players who have played for you before to associate with your name, what would that be? A word or phrase?
Really? I'm not that witty. I hope that when they come back from college or when they get married and when they have kids, and I want them to look fondly on the time that we spent together on the grind. So I hope that phrase is something along the lines of, I had fun. I push fun a lot. I'm not, I don't have the fire and brimstone in me that is like for the games. That's when my competitive side gets to come out. They have to keep me on track sometimes. I like to shut down practice early to play Pictionary. I like pizza parties. I like putt-putt. I like hanging out with the kids. You know, I've got 2 7-year-olds and a little baby, and I like when my family's there with all my girls, and I like when my girls come back from college and they're there, and we have like everybody at like a meal or like a holiday thing. So I hope that they associate the time they spent with us as it was fun. It was something that I just enjoyed doing, and you know, the basketball part of it doesn't even kind of factor into the thought process. I just, you know, I like when I get invited to, you know, weddings and graduation parties, and I get the I just had a baby picture, and I want those contacts for life. You know, that you start coaching because you think you like sports, and then you keep coaching because you fall in love with the kids. So I hope that's what they associate.
Nice thoughts. Coach, this is probably somewhat related. We know of your basketball acumen and your accomplishments, and that's kind of, you know, head coach basketball. But what do you find year after year that you are teaching the kids, maybe that transcends or goes outside of the basketball court?
Oh, that's a great question. Character counts. I mean, I'm big on that. Be a player of integrity, be a person of integrity. That puts a lot of weight on you as a coach. I mean, it really does. And if we're doing a suicide, you touch a line. And it sounds so minor, but it's truth, right? And so I would have to say it's being a player of integrity. And that's a high bar to model. And but the staff around me, I love it. And being a private school, and you get kids coming in, and people could say all they want to say, but did I go into your gym and recruit your kid? I did not do that. And that's okay. I'm comfortable with who I am and how we coach and the integrity we have. I can't control what people say about us. And I tell that to my kids too. You know, the better program you get, people sometimes they just don't like you. And but anyway, I want to be a coach of integrity. I want my kids to be integrity, and we talk about it not just on the basketball court, in the classroom. And we're doing a book study right now by John Maxwell. He's a Christian author, but it's the 17 Essentials of Being a Good Team Player. And being a good teammate is something I say. What does that look like? Because a good teammate is being a good spouse. I mean, I go home to that every day, and just, am I a good teammate to my husband? And I'll the days I fail, I'll come in. My husband coaches with me. I'll tell the kids, I didn't do so well today, you know. So I think you have to approach that with a sense of humility, and that's probably when you got competitors like the Coolin Twins, and you got these kids that just bust through things. The humility isn't maybe always natural, and I'm really proud of where we're at right now. The kids, who they are as people, not just players, but it's hard to have pride on the court, but then not pride in yourself. So that's, I guess, the number one thing I try to teach and that I would be most proud of.
Okay, nice. Coach Kreider, you're somewhat new in this career that you have entered. Who are some of the role models? Who are some of the people that have really made a difference to you? And it can be basketball or even outside it.
One of my coaches from high school, Norman James. He's been doing basketball for a long time. And he tries to, you know, keep me in line. And a lot of information he gives. Also my mother. She's a retired teacher, and she always told me to keep my head in the books. Like, no matter what, I couldn't get in trouble in class. She was gonna never take my side over teacher regardless. So I had to really pay attention, and I would just also say my principal from high school, Mr. Hightower. He really cared, and I think that's what modeled me as the coach I am now. I care, and like I said, I'm very hard on the kids. But I have to remember, I have to go back, give them a hug after practice, like, oh, okay, yeah, they're still kids. So I have to text them after, like, look, you did a good job, so we're going to work out the next day. So I have to remember that I have to show them love. And that's probably the reason why everybody is excited about this year, because of me expressing love, but at the same time being hard. So.
Okay. Coach Howery, Give me, if you will, 3 attributes that has made you the success you've been in coaching. 3 things that you think you have to have in order to be a good basketball coach, good leader.
Just a good leader. It doesn't matter if it was sport or anything else. Biggest one, and I say this just because I'm going through it, through teaching now, is flexibility.
Okay.
You know, we can't put everything in a bubble here and say it has to be like this, because every single person that you interact with will have different things happening in their life, and you may have to respond differently. So that flexibility is huge. You cannot just take one issue and say, okay, we're disciplining it this way every single time. Another attribute is the relationship building. You got to be able to build relationships not just with your players, but with your parents. You need to be able to get out in the community, and if you want this 3rd grader to come and stay in your program, then you need to show them that at 3rd grade, not in 8th and 9th grade. You know, because it's very easy all of a sudden, you know, if you don't know that parent, you know, and the parent doesn't know you, it's hard to say, hey, I got this for you. See what we've done, but then they don't have a relationship with you. Why would they want to stay? You know, maybe they're hearing other things. You know, I think you made a statement that, you know, you don't come to gyms, and that's very true. Nobody's coming into the gym taking kids. You know, if you don't have that relationship built with those parents, they're going to go where they feel most comfortable. And if someone else is building that relationship better than I am, well, then it's my fault. And I found, you know, being at John Hay, it was a lot of times people came there, it was not because of something that I did special, it's because I made an effort to make that relationship between myself and their parent, or maybe it was a cousin or uncle or aunt. The 3rd attribute is hardworking. Constantly, as a coach, you need to be watching film as much as anybody. You need to, when you walk into your practice, whether it's basketball, football, soccer, it doesn't matter. You need to know what you're talking about going in. Not saying that you can't make mistakes, because we all make mistakes. But you got to be able to go in there and say, here it is. These are the things I've seen. This is how we're going to go about attacking whatever the situation is, whatever the problem is. You know, we're going to go in there. I'll put one more in there. You got to be willing to say, I made a mistake, because I'm not perfect. You know, I blew that, and guess what, I messed up there. I put you in the wrong situation. I put you in that wrong place so that wouldn't work. Because the first time, you know, you say, no, you're all messing up and I'm not, you're going to lose the entire group.
Okay. Well, last but not least, Coach Stovall, if you don't mind me putting you on the hot seat, because you haven't said anything yet tonight, over your extended career, your accomplished career, what would you say some of the greatest highs and maybe even some of the lows have been in what you've seen and what you've experienced?
I'm looking at everybody here and reflecting on that, and I'm listening to the questions, and there's so much I could add to each statement. You know, I think I was successful. In particular at East Tech, but I really started off at Kennedy, and I was Coach of the Year at JFK, and I think I was there 8 years. Over to East Tech, and the only reason I went to East Tech, the principal asked me to go to a game, and Terry Butler was the principal. And he had been a friend of mine because we both taught at middle school together, FDR, before he went to John Adams. And we were together at John Adams, and then he went over to East Tech. And during the game, a little scuffle took place. And he said to me, he didn't get up. He said, "What do you think?" I said, "What? About this team?" I said, "They're winners." He said, "The job is yours." So, I'm coaching over at JFK, but I learned a long time ago, somebody asks for you, they're going to treat you right, everything going to work out. So I said, okay, I'm coming. You know? And I've never had a losing season, never. Not on the middle school level, high school level. First year I went 10-10. you know. And after that, of course, I knew who I had coming in, and everything blossomed from that. But the thing is building up a rapport with your players. And I mentioned this to someone else, not to Coach Winters, because he's already heard this. They're never supposed to know what practice is going to be. When you come in, I know what we're getting ready to do. No, you don't. No, you don't. You know, because your practice is going to change every single day. If it becomes repetitious, it's boring to those kids. So you have to change your practice, keep them guessing. One time, good example. One time, and Burke was on my coaching staff then. During the Christmas holiday, my team couldn't do anything right. They had to run. They had to run. Shoot a free throw, and I pick out the worst person. Oh, you running again. Everybody comes in a circle. Now, been a bad practice today. Everybody get dressed. We going to breakfast. Oh, no, you know, but it's building up camaraderie, because with girls, and only with girls, if you say that ball's supposed to go this way, and they don't like that girl, that ball going over here every single time. Every single time. Every single time. And what? Oh, she wasn't open, but she was open, you know. So you have to build up that camaraderie and respect. And I think he's doing a great job of that, and it'll show in practice. If everybody loves everybody, you're looking out for everybody.
Well, thank you, Coach. On those words of wisdom, I think it's a great place to stop. So once again, on behalf of Coach Winters and the Brush program, we thank all of you for taking your time tonight, and thanks for all the great answers. Good luck on the coming seasons. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.